Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please start with a roll call.
Council President Prince.
Here.
Councilmember McIrvin.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember Albertson. Councilmember Vaughn.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, one absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Council President Prince.
I move we excuse the absent council member.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember President Prince, second by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the absent council member be excused. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. And we're on to the administrative report.
All right, good evening, everyone. On Wednesday, November 6th, from 4:30 to 7 p.m. at Jean Coulon Memorial Beach Park in the boat launch area, the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree will make a special appearance in Renton as part of its 4,000-mile journey from Alaska to Washington, D.C. During the tree's visit, enjoy complimentary hot chocolate, a DJ playing holiday music, and a few speaking opportunities by Renton Mayor Armando Pavoni and additional organizations before the tree arrives. The tree will arrive at 5 p.m., and residents can write notes of good wishes to the tree on its journey to Washington, D.C. We invite the public to join us for this unique opportunity. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, road closures happening this week can be found at rentonwa.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, and unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open.
All right, thank you. Next is the audience comment period. We do have one person signed up. I want to remind everybody that all remarks must be addressed to the council as a whole. If you request a response, please provide your email address. When I call your name, please step up to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. There's a light in front of you. When it turns yellow, please wrap up your comments. And up first is Sarah Dreyfus. Up at the podium, yes.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I traditionally go by Liz. I have been serving your community for 16 years plus, helping mothers bring babies into this world. I have been happily employed by Valley Medical Center. I've worked through wonderful times, and I have also worked through COVID. I love what I do and everything about the job, for the most part. Recently, I have been on the negotiation team, and we have been working towards fair and competitive wages and an equitable amount of sick time. We are not over asking. We simply request equity and fair market wages. We live in King County, where inflation is at 5.8%, inflation is at 5.8%, and the cost of living seems to rise at an exponential rate. The upper management has stalled this process, and we have been in the process for over 6 months without a current contract since June. Additionally, we are unpaid to work on the negotiation team. VMC complains of financial hardship, yet has been able to give our CEO, Janine Grinnell, a 20% raise and handsome bonuses in the hundreds of thousands for upper managers, which amazes me for a public hospital. We recently held an informational picket, and we would like to thank Kim Kanban and Carmen Rivera, who stood with us, for showing up and standing in solidarity with healthcare workers at Valley Medical Center. I am asking that you support the healthcare workers at Valley Medical Center going forward in our fight for fair wages and benefits. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up is the consent agenda. There are 2 items for council consideration. Are there any items you would like pulled for separate discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move that we adopt the consent agenda as published.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council approve the consent agenda as published. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're on to unfinished business. Council President Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the committee of the whole has a committee report.
The committee of the whole committee report is regarding our flag policy. The Committee of the Whole recommends that the administration prepare a resolution to adopt Policy 800-14 as presented at the Committee of the Whole meeting on November 4th, 2024. This is signed by the Council President.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt the Committee of the Whole report.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember Halloran, that the council adopt the Committee of the Whole report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're on to Councilmember McGurven.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Utilities Committee has one committee report to present.
Okay, Utilities Committee report. Temporary construction easement to United Christian Church for the Harmony Ridge development. The Utilities Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the temporary construction easement with United Christian Church and accept the compensation to the city for the easement in the amount of $59,100. This is signed by the committee chair and vice chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Van.
I move that the council concur with the Utilities Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Van, seconded by Councilmember Rivera, that the council concur with the Utility Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Councilmember Perez.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
We're on to legislation where we have one resolution, seven ordinance for first reading, and one ordinance for second and final reading.
The resolution is regarding the 2025-2026 fee schedule. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, amending the City of Renton fee schedule for the years 2025 and 2026, and adopting by reference the current capital facility plans for Issaquah, Kent, and Renton school districts.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President Prince.
I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the council approve the resolution as read. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries.
Right, the first ordinance for first reading is regarding the Parks and Recreation reorganization as part of the budget legislation. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, repealing and replacing Section 325 of the Renton Municipal Code, authorizing corrections, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move that these ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries.
The next ordinance is establishing the property tax levy for 2025. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, establishing the property tax levy for the year 2025 for general city operational purposes in the amount of $26,336,260, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Right, the next ordinance, 6145, is authorizing a property tax increase for 2025. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the dollar amount and percentage increase for the property tax to be levied for the year 2025, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries.
All right, the next ordinance is regarding 2025 piped utility rates. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending subsections 822G, 823C, 823E1, 8224A1, 8431B, 8431C4, 8515A, and 8515D of the Renton Municipal Code, establishing piped utility rates for 2025 and 2026, authorizing corrections, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
I move we place this ordinance on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember Halloran, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Right, the next ordinance is adopting the 2025-2026 biennial budget. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the biennial budget for the years 2025-2026, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President.
before I move this, I want to thank our team, our staff here for all the hard work they did on the budget and the presentations that they give. It was very enlightening and helped us a lot. With that, I move that we place this ordinance on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries.
Right, the next ordinance is regarding docket number 233, which is in regards to extending waived development and mitigation fees and the multifamily housing property tax exemption. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending sections 41210 and 41220 of the Renton Municipal Code by extending the waiver of certain development and mitigation fees and extending the multifamily housing property tax exemption, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
I move the ordinance to be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, seconded by Councilmember O'Halloran, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Right, the last ordinance for first reading is regarding docket item 234, which is amending project review regulations. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending project review regulations in section 4140, subsection 4670G, section 4810, subsections 4850A, 4850B, 4850D, 4860B, 4860C, 4860E, 4860G, 4880A through 4880F, 4890D and 48100C of the Renton Municipal Code, repealing Section 4840, authorizing corrections, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Perez.
thank you, Jason. I move the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Perez, seconded by Councilmember Halloran, that the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Right, the final ordinance is for second and final reading, and it's regarding the 2025-2026 solid waste utility rates. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending subsection 8110 of the Renton Municipal Code, establishing the 2025 and 2026 solid waste collection service rates for all customer classes, authorizing corrections, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Ram.
I move that the ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Vance, seconded by Councilmember Rivera, that this ordinance be adopted as read. It is second reading, so unless there's discussion, it requires a roll call.
Hey, Council President Prince.
Aye.
Councilmember McIrvin.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Aye.
Councilmember Rivera.
Aye.
Councilmember Vaughn.
Aye.
And Councilmember Perez.
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all ayes.
All right, and that finishes legislation. We are on to new business. Council President Prince.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On Monday, November 11th, we have no meetings in accordance with the Veterans Day holiday. So then on Monday, November 18th at 6 p.m., Committee of the Whole will be meeting in the conferencing center. We have one item on the agenda, the Renton Student Health Hub. And then we will follow that up with our council meeting here in council chambers and by video conference. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember McGurven.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just would like to announce the Transportation Committee meeting scheduled for Monday, November 18th has been canceled. That's all.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Public Safety Committee will be meeting on Monday, November 18th at 4:45 p.m. We have 4 items on the agenda. The first being the Renton police response to human trafficking. The second being graffiti abatement and response. The third being the RRFA briefing. And last but not least, emerging issues in public safety. And that is all, Mr. Mayor.
That meeting will be in the council conference room and video conference.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay, we're on to Councilmember Van.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to announce the Utilities Committee meeting on the 18th is canceled.
Okay, Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Van had a new business. What's the wish of the council?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved by Council President Prince, second by Councilmember O'Halloran that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody want to stay, say nay. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.